you can see behind me, oops, okay, try to put it. Okay, what you can see behind me is what we call the National Palace of Culture. This is an emblematic building in Sofia, Bulgaria. The National Palace of Culture was built actually in communist times, and it was built to house big cultural events. It was named after the daughter of the then Bulgarian communist dictator Todor Zhivkov. Her name was Lyudmila Zhivkova. She was very much into culture. Well, this is NDK. This is NDK, one of the emblems of Sofia. Actually, the acronym NDK comes from National Palace of Culture, Национален Дворец на Културата. This building was built in communist times, okay, and it was built to house cultural events. It was named after the daughter of the then Bulgarian dictator Todor Zhivkov. His daughter was called Lyudmila Zhivkova, and she was very much into culture. She was actually involved in... Hello, my name is Jana, and I want to show you something very, very special in Sofia. This is the city center of Sofia, and I'm right here next to NDK, the National Palace of Culture. Now, the reason I'm showing this video is because my country, Bulgaria, was in the communist bloc, in the Eastern bloc, in the Soviet bloc for 45 years, and to understand the present-day mentality of the Bulgarians, the present-day architecture of the city of Sofia, the present-day life of Bulgarians, you have to take into consideration this very important fact. 45 years doesn't sound like a long time, but it actually is when you're in the Soviet bloc. Now, I'm right here where the NDK is. This is the building that was built, emblematic in Sofia. I'll show you the building in a minute, okay? And that was built in communist times. Now, it was built to house the party events of the... She founded a school for gifted children. She was interested in, Eastern philosophy, this kind of stuff. And, well, I don't know whether it was her idea, but this building was being built while I was still at university. There have been actually military barracks here. The building was considered very controversial because of its architecture. But nevertheless, it has become one of the emblems of Sofia. A lot of cultural events are housed here. For example, 2 years ago... Moved into, cultural stuff. She was interested in culture, and the palace was named after her. It is still in operation, thank God, and it houses opera performances or theater performances. By the way, last year, well, the year before the pandemic, I saw a beautiful, beautiful Bolshoi performance here. Swan Lake on ice, absolutely fantastic. I'll show you actually the park, what's around. This is right in the middle of the center. The National Palace of Culture was being built when I was in my of the Communist Party. To understand all that, for 45 years we only had one political party, and this political party was called actually the Communist Party of Bulgaria, okay? And there was no other party in Bulgaria. You could not vote, right? I mean, actually you voted, you had to vote. It was a must to vote. It went without saying that you would vote. I remember I was 18 when I had to vote for the first time. Nobody would ever, it wouldn't strike your mind. It would come across, the thought of not voting would not come across your mind, actually. So, nevertheless, what I'm saying, everybody voted, and 100% of the population voted with the Communist Party of Bulgaria. I know that it's a very strange idea for the democracy, for all the democracies in the world, in Europe and the world. Probably the winter before the pandemic started, I saw Bolshoi. I saw Bolshoi performance. That was Swan Lake on ice in in the NDK. The name is NDK, meaning National Palace of Culture. Национален Дворец на Културата. They have a huge hall called Hall Number 1, Zala номер 1, and I think it has, I don't know how many, but probably 1,000 even more seats, people. It was practically built to house the first year at university, believe me. And this place here was actually well, there had been military barracks at this place. It was a very controversial project. Many people thought it was an ugly building. I wouldn't call it ugly or beautiful, it's just what it is. It's one of the emblems of Sofia. National Palace of Culture. Национален Дворец на Културата. The world, but for us that was a fact. Now, this monument here, the NDK, I'll show you the NDK now, was built, okay, it was built in communist times, and as I said in the previous videos, it was built, okay, and named after the daughter of the then communist dictator Todor Zhivkov. Her name was Lyudmila Zhivkova, and she was very much into, I think she was a minister of culture as well at that time, and she was very much into culture. She founded a very special school for gifted children. She also was into Eastern philosophies, and a lot of actually cultural endeavors at that time were well, she was a patron of all these events.